Hello everyone, this is Model Gaming Show, episode 56 for the week of December 16th, 2018. I'm your host, GWFawkes. I hope everyone's having a happy holiday and has a Merry Christmas coming up. The main topic of discussion for tonight concerns Blizzard abruptly and frankly unceremoniously ending their Professional Heroes of the Storm Esports League and how Activision Blizzard is really starting to just look like Activision. To start off, I'm going to list several events that have happened in recent months to really try and provide context to the apparent sea change that's happening within Activision and how they're kind of taking over Blizzard. First, on October 3rd, co-founder and president Mike Morhaime resigned from the company where he made $12 million last year and instead will stay on as an advisor. Then on November 2nd at BlizzCon, Blizzard misread the room entirely and ended their conference with Diablo Immortal, a Diablo mobile game. Fans responded by asking if it was an early April Fool's joke. Seriously, it was that malign. That actually happened. Next, on November 21st, Jason Schreier of Kotaku released an article in which he interviewed 11 current and former employees of Blizzard and basically tried to find out what was happening with the Diablo series and Blizzard. Then on December 21st, Wesley Yin-Poole of Eurogamer detailed how 100 members of Blizzard's customer support center in Cork, Ireland accepted cash buyouts to leave by year's end. That's crazy. Finally, on December 22nd, Jason Schreier followed Eurogamer's article with another article that highlighted how Blizzard wants its developers to hire more people, but also cut expenses and produce more games. Those seems pretty contradictory, right? They're all excellent reads. You should read them. The too long didn't read version is that Activision seems to be really tightening its grip on Blizzard's financing and wanting them to produce more games. That all leads to Heroes of the Storm. For those unaware, Heroes of the Storm is a multiplayer online battle arena. Everyone calls them MOBAs. It's 5-on-5. It released in 2015 and version 2 came up in April of 2017. This year, Blizzard released a blog post letting the community know that they would be scaling back development and moving people off the project, canceling their esports league for 2019. The following day, production director Keiko Miller put his own post saying that things are changing, but not all is lost. They're going to continue to develop for the foreseeable future with new heroes, new reworks, and themed events. What really gets me really friggin' upset is the fact that Blizzard, one of the largest entertainment companies in the world, ended the careers of hundreds of people with a friggin' blog post. Who does that? The lack of tact is absolutely astounding, and I really can't think of a worse way for a company this public to do something like this, maybe like a text or something, right? And while it could be argued that players aren't directly, supported by Blizzard, the hosts, the crews, they're definitely supported, and that's how they're making their living. The majority of those people found out they were fired from a blog post. That's absurd, it's unacceptable. Okay, there's so many ways that this could have been done to mitigate that, to allow those individuals time to rebound for work. They're just pulling the rug right out from them and saying, peace out, good luck. Hell, my off-the-cuff idea that I thought about when this happened was just to hold a March Madness style tournament of champions for everyone, that played over a month as a send-off. That would have at least provided a bit of closure. Instead, nothing. It's a terrible way to do that. I think it's becoming more and more clear as the months go on, especially with what's happened in the last few months, that Activision is now heavily influencing all of Blizzard's decisions. It certainly seems like they have taken over financially, hiring a new financial auditor who's been pushing a new edict to cut costs, produce more games. With the announcement of Diablo Immortal and the promise of more mobile games on the way, it seems they're attempting to really take over creatively as well. When they first merged back in 2007, Blizzard assured us that they would be operating independently, and that for more than 10 years that's been the case. But it's not that way now. It doesn't seem that way, and based on their recent track record, it doesn't seem like that's gonna be like that for the future either. I hope I'm wrong. I want them to prove me wrong, but it does seem like an end of an era for Blizzard. Moving on from that, Sony made a major blunder with the release of My PS4 Life. It was meant to make a video on having you look back on trophies and games that you played, and instead what it allowed users to do was see the actual number of players that were associated with trophy percentages. By doing some relatively simple math, you can come up with the total amount of players that played that game. Essentially, they're releasing sales figures. That's crazy. These numbers haven't been released like that ever for this system. And so someone made a website, GAMStat, G-A-M-S-T-A-T, compiling 162 games so far, like of all the games sales data. It's crazy. And excluding Nintendo, that hasn't happened for Sony this generation at all. So my PS4 life is still active. And the site is still up too. So I'm not sure that Sony is planning on doing anything about this, or even if they give a crap. And after reviewing the list, nothing really surprised me all that much. Maybe FIFA just gets 30 million every game. But Wolfenstein 2, my favorite game from last year, only sold 1.44 million. That's super disappointing. Definitely take a look at that site. It's really damn interesting seeing what games have sold like the most. Grand Theft Auto obviously has over 50 million on PS4. That is their largest install base. That totally makes sense. But other games that I didn't think sold well, like for example, Mankind Divided, right? Square Enix always said, hey, this game didn't meet our expectations. It sold almost like 5 million just on the PS4. So even if you say half that much or like a quarter that much on Xbox and another quarter on PC, right? You're still looking at 8 million. What the hell are their expectations? It sold friggin' 8 million times 60, right? We're looking at 480 million, or is that math wrong? Like, how much is that game supposed to make? Anyways, rant over. Go check out the list, okay? That is gonna do it for tonight. I'm GWFawkes, okay? This is the Model Gaming Show. I appreciate you tuning in and watching for my rants and discussions. Catch me on twitch.tv/modelgamingshow for my streams. Check the schedule to make sure when this show is posting. It's every Sunday night. I try and do my best to make it every Sunday night around 7 to 8 p.m. And I'm going to be streaming over New Year's and Christmas Day to try and finish the plague that is the game that has plagued me for the last 2 months, that is Red Dead Redemption 2. I feel like I'm so close, but I've been saying that for 2 weeks now. Thank you all for watching, and check me out on Instagram and Twitter as well, GWFawkes. Have a good one.